Beloved, wherever you are watching me, I welcome you to this very moment. I want to talk to you on some certain issues and to dissect into some certain problems in people's life that I think it will really help you, because it has become a major problem to a lot of people about how they can deal with prophecies, how they can deal with prophecies in their life, how they can deal with it. Some even argue because of some issues that they have going through. But there are some legalities, there are some things that you as a person have to do. The book of Daniel chapter 9 verse number 2. Now the Bible said, I read, in the first year of his reign, that means King Darius, I Daniel perceived by the books the number of years that according to the word of the Lord, Jeremiah the prophet, that must pass before the end of dissolution of Jerusalem. This was a word of the Lord that came through the prophet Jeremiah after Israel went to exile for 70 years. And within that 70 years period, there were a lot of things that went on. The Bible said that the time Israel began to depart from the ways of the Lord and rebel against God, God, through his judgmental decisions and through his judgmental prophecy, spoke through his servant prophet Jeremiah and said, this is a word to the people of Israel. Since they have disobeyed me, and they have not hearkened unto my voice, and have departed my ways, I, the Lord, will send them into captivity to the land of Babylonia, and they will be under captivity for 70 years. This was exact years that God gave to the people of Israel, that they will pass through, they will go through in their lives within the period of these 70 years. So one day Daniel was sitting down, as the Bible said, to perceive, to get understanding about the 70 years period. Either it has expired or is still in progress. And the Bible said that he realized that the 70 years has expired, and yet still Israel is still in captivity. Even though it was a prophecy that came from God, that after the 70 years, they must come out from exile and the word of the Lord have to be fulfilled. So there was a timeline, there was a day as set apart, there was a time that was predicted, there was a time that was assigned. And this time was in the period of 70 years that Israel must come out from exile. I want you to know that a time of our life may come that we will see ourselves happy. A time in our life will come that we will see ourselves rejoicing. A time in our life will come that everything will favor us. So also a time may come that we will see ourselves in destruction. That's why the Bible said in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse number 1, the Bible said that there's time for everything under the sun. A time for someone to die and time for someone to be born. So I believe in the law of time, because the law of time, there's no limitation. The law of time doesn't favor anybody. The law of time does not stay or there for anyone. So it can favor you today, tomorrow it can disapprove you and approve someone. So what you have to understand is that God also deal with time. God is a God of order. And since time is orderly arranged for humanity, that same God also deal with men according to time. So when you are there and you see yourself that things are not okay, and you aligned with these your situation with the prophecies of God and the revelations of God concerning in your life, you need to go deeper. You need to perceive. You need to get understanding about some certain issue. You need to ask God. You need to go before God and pray before God that, God, why is it that my life is in this situation? Concerning your word in my life, concerning your revelation in my life, concerning the things that you have spoken and you have said in my life. This is something that we need to always remind God. That is how the reason why prayer is very important. Prayer is not just an act of communication between us and God, but prayer is also a remembrance. It gives a remembrance unto God on some certain issues of our life, on some things in our life, on some revelation concerning our life, the things that God has said in our life. So it is not only to give us the relationship between us and God, to strengthen us. It does not centered on this condition, but is centered on many issues. So in this passage, we could learn and understand that Daniel realized that the time that God said has expired and Israel is still in captivity. So he need to remind God on that particular situations and that prophecy that God must come into the situation and react and act on that situation. I believed and I understand that not all people will go far in life. Not all people will see themselves happy. Not all people will understand their life and understand their future. Understanding your life and your future, making things easy for you. And there are people, they will not understand their life. They cannot understand their life. And they will never understand their life. The reason is that they prefer to be in where they are. Even though they don't like, but the act of their condition, the situation of their condition, the reactions of their condition determined how they believe in themselves and they believe in their future and their situation. So what you have to understand is that you need to concentrate on every prophetic word in your life. You need to be very attentive in your situation. Every little situation that you find yourself in, anything that comes around your domain, you need to be very sensitive. Spiritual sensitive is to always be attentive in your life. Always to be very careful in situations that you are going through. When you are sensitive in your spiritual reaction, you will know what to do in terms of every levels of your life that you find yourself in. The Bible said that Daniel prayed and he drew the attentions of God onto that situation, onto that timeline, into that particular years that God prophesied through his servant prophet Jeremiah. And the Bible said that God realized and said, it is about time that I have to deliver my people out of that captivity. That was the time God stepped into the situation of the Israelites. And the Bible said that he delivered them from the hands of the Babylonians. And the Bible said that that was the day Israel began to see happiness in their life again. And drawing the attentions of God onto that issue will make God step into your situation. Somebody may ask, why is it that God, who knows everything, why is it that we will go into some situations of life and we will be in some predicaments and dilemmas of life, and yet still God will sit down and look unto us, go through all these predicaments and problems and issues of this life? Why God, all-knowing God, will sit down aloof and look unto us suffer? That's why the Bible says that ask and it shall be given unto you, knock and it shall be open, and when you seek you shall find. So until you knock, until you seek, you shall not find. When you knock, that is when you begin to understand the presence of God in your life. From today, I'm believing God in your life that God will begin to step into your matter, and every prophetic word that has come into your life before you and in your future and in your destiny, I pray that God will step into your matter and begin to act speedily onto your situation. But it is my prayer also that you will gather the strength of the Lord, and you will gather the insight of God, and you will begin to understand and perceive the things that are in your life and outside your life, and to know what God had for you and the timing of God also in your life. It is my prayer that you will get a lot of insight in this matter, and you will begin to exploit according to the word of the Lord. May God be with you. May God continue to shower his blessings on you. May God rest his power upon you in the mighty name of Jesus. I hope this message has really blessed you. If you have been blessed by this word, please like and share and comment as well, and share it to about thousands of people who are closer to you, that you see them in this same situation in your life. Share to them, and your life never be the same. May God be with you. My name is Senior Papa, a prophet of God and a seer of God. Shalom, peace, till I come to you again with another word of prophetic message and spiritual secrets. Bye-bye.